Why do you build me up? Buttercup, baby, just to let me down and mess me around, and the worst of all.
What is going on, guys? I am back with my third ever park battle, and this is the park battle version of the Super Bowl because it features two of the best parks in PA that I've been to. Today we have Hersheypark versus Knoebels. I think both of those parks are absolutely awesome, and I think it would be an awesome idea to put them against each other in a park battle. So let's get to the rundown. So the roller coasters are going to be worth 3 points, although the extras are going to be worth 1 point per coaster, and the kiddie coasters are going to be 1 point because they're nothing special. They're just kiddie coasters. And the thrill rides here's how the thrill rides is here's how the thrill ride section is going to work. So the pendulum rides are going to be worth 2 points. The drop towers are going to be worth 4 points. And the other flats are going to be worth 1 point per ride. And here's how the family ride section is going to work. The flyers are going to be worth 3 points. In fact, those are the only family rides I'll be comparing because I did notice a difference between the two. And so anyways, the dark rides are worth 3 points. The water park is worth 5. Their water parks are worth 5 points. And both of those parks are doing something new in 2020, so I will be comparing those and giving the better one 5 points. And the park appearance is going to be worth 5 points. And the night appearance is going to be worth 6 points. The ticketing system is going to be worth 4 points, and the amount of coasters is going to be worth 6. And the Skyline Visibility is going to be worth 6 points, and the size is worth 7 points, and the events is 1 point per event, and the extras I'm going to be giving 1 point per extra they offer. And so let's start off with the roller coasters. So here we have the smaller wooden coasters, which are Comet and Phoenix. Now, Comet is like not a bad Woody. It's smooth and has nice airtime, but Phoenix will be taking the 3 points here because it has like insane airtime. And you know I love roller coasters with extremely insane airtime, so Knoebels will be taking the 3 points for the insane airtime Phoenix has. And so let's move on to the larger winning coasters. We have Wildcat versus Twister. And I feel that Twister's a lot more fun and it feels a lot more faster than Wildcat. So Knoebels will be earning the 3 points for this category. And Wildcat is just rough, man. And here's something fun. When I first rode Wildcat at Hershey Park back in 2016, it used to be my favorite coaster there. But then I realized how much better some of their I realized how much better their other coasters are than Wildcat. And so I started to appreciate like Great Bear and Sky Rush more. And so anyways, that's why Twister at Knoebels will be taking the 3 points here. Because, like I said, now that I realize it, Wildcat's just rough, man. And yeah, so yeah, now we have the vertical lift hill coasters. So we have Fahrenheit versus Impulse. Impulse is good and all, but Fahrenheit will be taking the 3 points here because it feels like so much faster than Impulse, and in general, I think it has like I'm pretty sure it has like a lot more inversions than Impulse. In fact, it does. Yeah, it has a lot more inversions than Impulse, and it does much more fun stuff than what Impulse does. And I feel that it's a little bit longer than Impulse and more insane too. So Fahrenheit will definitely be taking the points. So now we have the indoor roller coasters. Lap Track versus Black Diamond. Now, Black Diamond, it just feels like a plain old combination of a coaster and a dark ride. They do all those sort of animatronics, which are cool and all, but Laugh Track will be taking the 3 points because it is a spinning coaster and it is so much fun. Oh my god. I think I think Laugh Track is one of the best coasters at Hershey Park, to be honest. And so, anyways, Laugh Track takes the three. Laugh Track will be taking the 3 points here for it being much more fun than Black Diamond is. So, let's move on to the kiddie coasters now. Both of those parks will be receiving a point for having a kiddie coaster. Hershey Parks is called Coco Cruiser, and Knoebels is called Cosmos Curves. So right now, Knoebels and Hershey are tied. So Knoebels has one extra coaster, which is unlike anything Hershey has, which is called Flying Turns, and it's the only and it's the world's only wooden bobsled coaster. So Knoebels will be earning 1 point for that. And Hershey Park has lots of extra coasters like Sky Rush, Great Bear, Super Duper Looper, Trailblazer, Storm Runner, Sidewinder, and Lightning Racer. And they're unlike anything Knoebels has, so they will be receiving 1 point for each of those coasters. And so, anyways, we've got the pendulum rides here. So the Claw and Fandango. Now, I can't decide which one is better because I rode the Claw when I went to Christmas Candy Lane in 2018, and Fandango I've just ridden a bunch of times, so both parks will be getting 2 points for rides like these being really good in different ways. So, let's compare the drop towers, Stratosphere versus Triple Towers, and now Stratosphere is only consisted of like it's only like one drop tower with Stratosphere. But with Hershey's Triple Towers, it's not that way. You have like 3 different drop towers at 3 different heights. And one of them like launches you up and then drops you down while the other 2 just launch and do their thing. And so that's why Hershey's Triple Towers will be taking the points for being 3 different drop towers at different heights. So you could choose how high you want to go. So in conclusion, that's why Hershey's Triple Towers will be taking the points here. So let's move on to the other flats. So Hershey Park has a thrilling flat ride called the Howler. I'll be giving them 1 point for that. But Knoebels, I'll be giving like 5 points for those other flats like Looper, Wipeout, Downdraft, Power Surge, and Roundup. And so, anyways, let's move on to the Flyers. So Hershey's Flyers, which are called Hershey's Flyers are quieter than Knoebels is, and Knoebels' Flyers are much more like louder than Hershey's Flyers. So Knoebels will be taking the points for having more insane Flyers. So the dark rides. So Reese's Cup Fusion is a lot more fun than Haunted Mansion right there. And so Reese's Cup Fusion will be taking the points for being a lot more interactive than Haunted Mansion. Like, you can actually score points on this dark ride, unlike Haunted Mansion where you just have all those things scaring you and stuff. And so Reese's Cup Fusion will be taking the points here. So now let's move on to the water park. Now, Knoebels, does Knoebels even have a water park? Because they only have a pool and 2 water slides. And they have a kiddie splash area too, I'll give them that. But they only have a pool and 2 water slides. Like, seriously. But so Hershey's water park will definitely be taking the points. And because they have a lot more stuff than Knoebels has, so that's why the points will be going to the boardwalk. So, anyways, now let's move on to the new for 2020 attractions. So, Knoebels is getting a new for 2020 flat ride called Tornado, which is literally just like the Howler at Hershey. And Hershey is getting like a whole new area, plus a new coaster called Candymonium along with that. And the area is going to be called Hershey's Chocolate Town, and Candymonium is going to be part of that. So Hershey's editions are much more bigger, so they will be receiving 5 points in this area. And Candymonium and Chocolate Town look absolutely fantastic, so that's why the points will be going to those editions. So anyways, let's talk about park appearance. So both parks will be taking the points here because Hershey is just nice. Like, they have a lot of shading and stuff. And Knoebels is like nestled in the woods, and that's a cool feature about it. And the paths are all gravel too, so I'm giving both parks the points for their park appearance being good in different ways, and I'm giving both parks 6 points for both of them looking good at night in different ways too. Like the coasters have chaser lights, as you can see over here, and Phoenix has chaser lights too, and there are lighting packages all throughout both parks, so I will be giving both parks 6 points. So let's move on to the ticketing system. So for Hersheypark, you actually have to buy a ticket or a season pass, and the cost for a Hersheypark summer ticket is $43. And Knoebels has a much better ticketing system because all you do there is just walk in, and then you either pay per ride or get a wristband. So Knoebels will be taking the points for that ticketing system. And so anyways, now let's move on to the amount of coasters. So Knoebels has 6 roller coasters, which is pretty decent for a park like it. But Hersheypark has like soon to be 14 roller coasters. That is insane. And Hershey has more roller coasters than Knoebels, so they'll be earning 6 points. And let's move on to the Skyline Visibility. So when I say Skyline Visibility, I'm talking about like when you're driving to the park, like what you see of the skyline and stuff. Knoebels, it says you're less than a mile from the park, and you literally don't see anything because it is so nestled in the woods. Now, Hershey, you could clearly see the skyline as you get closer to it. And so that's why it will be taking the points, because you can clearly see it as you're driving closer to it. And yeah, and the skyline looks really good too as you're driving up to it, and you're like, oh, there's Hershey's Triple Towers right there. And you see all those coasters, and you get so amazed. And so that's why Hersheypark will be taking the points for Skyline Visibility. So anyways, now let's talk about the size. Now the estimated or exact area of Knoebels is 45 acres, and the area of Hersheypark is 121 acres. That's good. That's crazy. And so Hersheypark is clearly bigger than Knoebels, so they will be taking 7 points. And I like how big Hershey is, so they'll be taking the points for that. And yeah, so now let's talk about the events. So Knoebels has a Halloween event called Hollow Fun Night, so I'll be giving them a point for that. But Hershey, I'm giving 2 points here because they have a Halloween event called Hersheypark in the Dark, which unfortunately I've never been to, but I'm trying to get to Hersheypark in the Dark this year. So anyways, Hersheypark will be getting 1 point for that, and they'll be receiving 1 point for Christmas Candy Lane, which I've actually been to. So Hershey will be receiving a little more points than Knoebels in this category because they have Hersheypark in the Dark and Christmas Candy Lane. And so anyways, now let's move on to the extras. So Knoebels has campgrounds right nearby it, so that I'll be giving them a point for that. And 1 fabulous point goes to Hershey Park for having Hershey's Chocolate World right near the park, and I'm giving Hershey the point. I'm giving Hershey a point for this because people can go in Chocolate World and not go in Hershey Park. And so anyways, a point will be going to both of those parks for all their extras, especially because people can, like I said, people can go in Chocolate World and not go in Hershey Park. And in 2020, Hershey Park's gonna have even more with like a retail store and the restaurant called the Chocolatier, which looks pretty cool. And Chocolate Town's just gonna be a nice place for people to hang when they're not into roller coasters. And so anyways, the points have been calculated, and winning by 32 points is Hershey Park. Congratulations. Now, when I first made this video, I thought it would be a good idea to compare the parks because I think they're awesome, and I think it would be the perfect version for a park battle I mean, it would be the perfect thing for a park battle version of the Super Bowl if I compared Hersheypark and Knoebels in a park battle. And surprisingly, Hersheypark won by a lot of points. I think the extra coasters boosted them. And so anyways, congratulations goes to Hersheypark for winning this park battle. And so anyways, that concludes my park battle between Hersheypark in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and Knoebels in Elysburg, Pennsylvania. Reply to me your thoughts on this park battle, and make sure to stay tuned for a lot more of these videos coming soon to Coaster Plus Music 19, and I will see you in the next